This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. In the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Lindsey's today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsey's, LINDSEYS.
Yay Networks.
Hey, y'all.
What up, everybody?
Welcome to This Is Life. And I'm back. I realized I've been out for like 3 weeks.
It's been longer than that.
Wow. And you dropped this massive bombshell of like the journey.
I did.
It's okay, I'm here.
I did about the whole journey about my dad.
Lay your head in my bosom.
Lay your head on my breast.
On my breastises.
Lay your head on my breast.
I got you.
Yeah, we did. If you haven't already checked out the previous episodes, I encourage you to. So I shared that on August 26th of this year, my mom shared with me that pretty much the man who raised me was not my dad. And which was, I mean, it answered a ton of questions. A lot of questions.
Y'all don't understand. So when I first met him, I think I told my best friend, or my niece or somebody, I said, I think he got switched at birth, because I look at his family and he don't look like his daddy whatsoever. Like not even close, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. And so I feel like it definitely put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Which is the title of today's podcast.
Which is the missing piece.
We were... Okay, should I share my side of the story of all this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so many people know that I'm adopted. And
You're adopted?
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm adopted, and I was adopted at the age of 6 months, and I had found out pretty much I had one of my half-sisters reached out to me we did the Ancestry thing, or 23andMe, one of the blood tests.
Yeah.
And it popped up. And she said, by any chance, are you my older sister, Heather? I've been searching for you my whole life.
And mind you, we're driving to Beverly Hills to go to a dinner that was planned for my wife by her stock group, her stock investment group.
Yeah.
And so we're on our way going, and then she's sitting in the passenger seat, and she looks over at me, and she's like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is crazy.
This is crazy because this is 2 weeks after kind of the bombshell hit you, right? But your mom said to you through all that stuff, like, I know your missing piece. Your missing piece is finding out.
Well, I mean, so how that happened was we were sitting at the table, and you know, she was saying, you should call coach. You should call coach, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. And you know, she wasn't saying call your dad. She was saying, I want you to call your coach. Call your coach. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. And then she finally looked at me and she said, this is the missing piece.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I said, what are you talking about? At this point, I'm getting annoyed. Like, what are you talking about? And then that's when she looked at me and she said, she handed me her phone and she said, this is your father. And I was like, what?
Peeking outside and you about fell out. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Right.
I was sitting down
and
I was like, what, who? And she was like, yes, this is your father. And I was like, what? But the whole thing was she was trying to explain, this is your missing piece.
And so when I connected with my birth family, they said to me, we're so glad we found you. We've been searching for you our whole life, and you are our missing piece. And so I thought that was so wild that, you know, your mom used that, and then also my birth dad used that same phrase, right? And my birth half-sisters use that same phrase. Like, we've always known about you, and we've been searching for you for, 40 years. My birth dad, I think the idea of everything that happened was kind of foggy. My birth mom was a teenager. She was really young. But long story short, I got put up for adoption, and he didn't want me to be put up for adoption, essentially. Right. And I ended up getting put up for adoption, and he thought I was born in November. Like, he had my date of birth wrong. So he was calling different foster agencies after he found out that I was given up for adoption, trying to call and find me. And he's like, I can't find you. So, like, you're my firstborn child, and I don't know where you're at, right? So he's so excited. So I got a chance to talk to him on the phone, and we talk every week, a couple times a week. And he said that too, like, missing, you're my missing piece. And it's so wild to me though, because I feel like when all that stuff was happening, like, we were going through our process, We are working with our healing pastor, working through our childhood trauma. And I feel like literally, fathers are the start of it, right? Literally, God was healing us from the sperm, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? From the very, very beginning.
Heal us from the sperm? What do you mean?
Because it starts with you guys, right?
I guess.
From the fathers, what I mean?
I'm joking. Yeah. I understand what you mean.
Anyway, but it's like you go, especially if anybody's ever been adopted, you go your whole life thinking you're given up for adoption, and then you find out that actually you're somebody's missing piece, and they've been searching for you your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I think it really hit both of us hard because, we for me, I didn't know that I had a missing piece.
Yeah.
Internally,
something was off.
Something was off.
Yeah.
Something was off. I remember my mom told me a story about when I was younger. I don't even know if I had started walking yet. I don't know, but she was standing in Subway there in Newton, Mississippi, and my dad walks in, and she had her back turned, but I'm looking like towards the door, and I see him. She said, I just start wiggling in her arms, and she's like, "What's going on? Why are you doing that?" And then she turns around and she sees him. And she said, I had this big smile on my face. And I was like, I was like reaching out for him. She said, which is a big deal. She said, because you didn't go to anybody. You didn't like people.
Well, Dave.
Nothing
as a child.
Praise the Lord. Yeah, that was just me. I was like, I didn't go to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to touch me, but I was reaching out to him. And she was like, here. She's like, this is your son. Take him. And so I went to him, and I'm like playing with his face and smiling, and so she was just like, that was just something that she remembered, and if that was what I did as a child, then something that it's like that internal marker was always there to be like, something ain't right,
something's not right,
something's not right, and I knew something wasn't right. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was, and. So I've been living my life for 36 years, not realizing that I've had a missing piece this entire time. And then that's when we start having conversations about and conversing about what about all those people, across the world.
There's so many
who have these missing pieces.
So many people do.
And they don't even know.
And they're trying to fill it with drugs, affirmation, approval, power, money, degrees. Like you're constantly searching to try to feel, value and wanted. And it's just like, no, there's so many family secrets at times, right? I mean, I had a whole family secret. You did too. Like I didn't know that, I was given up for adoption and my dad didn't approve of it. You know what I mean? I didn't find that out till I'm 40. That's crazy.
I never forget when you told me the story, like after you talked to him, it was like, because it was almost like a completely different story.
Totally
than
different.
what you were given. It's like
I was given a totally different story
from
the foster agency.
The story you were given was almost like he was just a sperm donor. Like he didn't really want you.
Exactly. So you go your whole life with this almost identity and this almost way of thinking
that you're unwanted.
And meanwhile, God is like, you're so wanted first and loved by me. That's foundation. Right. And then you find out like, wait, my dad wanted me all along.
He wanted you the whole time.
He wanted to raise me.
And it broke him as a man.
It
changed his life.
It did. Because it's like you have your firstborn snatched away from you. Like that's traumatic.
That's traumatic.
But it affected the way he even, I hear, parented the other children he had. And I feel like I wonder if we could be a little more compassionate towards people that have been through traumatic things like that, where they don't have their family or they lost a firstborn or something happened, a couple broke up and you're pulled away from one side, whoever's raising the kid, maybe there's a divorce or something. Like you never know the true story until you get older and you actually can talk to these people and find out what really happened.
Exactly. And that's important to do, to be able to have some type of empathy and open up your capacity for empathy, because we're looking at your dad and we're like, man, like, this is a traumatic experience. I even look at my mom and also look at my dad. And I do want to share a story. So I had a conversation with my dad and we kind of talked about that missing piece type of thing. And it was interesting, something that he said to me. But before I tell that, I do want to take a quick break and be able to give you a message from our sponsor. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try with BetterHelp.com.
So I want to tell you a quick story, babe. One of my
Okay.
girlfriends, she's a single mom, just struggling in general. And you know what I got her?
What?
I gave her a gift of therapy. I booked a therapy session and I paid for it as her gift because I felt like that's what she needed in this season because she
Wow.
felt like she was in a low place.
Wow.
And she continued to see that therapist for 2 years after
Wow.
that. And it really changed, her life. And it was right around Christmas. So how perfect would it be if our viewers that are tuned in now reached out to BetterHelp and they're able to help,
Yeah.
book therapy for a friend that's struggling. Maybe they won't do it themselves.
Right.
But imagine having a friend saying, I love you so much. And I want you to talk to somebody that's unbiased that can help walk you through this hard time.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, I mean, it's hard. You got holidays coming up.
Yeah.
You have family members who are no longer there.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
real.
you have issues in the families you're dealing with. You have friends. You have divorces. You have all these things that are happening
Tough.
right now. So, starting therapy is something that I pray is just on the top of your list. It's something that has
Yeah.
benefited both of us.
100%.
Individually, also, in our marriage. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
I love it.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I'm telling you, if you're suffering in silence right now, you don't have to. BetterHelp is the way to go. In the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Lindsey's today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsey's, LINDSEYS. Now, would you like to continue this toxic conversation?
It's not toxic. We're just having a conversation.
It is. It's a good conversation.
All I'm saying is when a woman is looking to get to know somebody, there's certain patterns they want to see in that person. Healthy patterns. Like the fact that you can be proactive, that you can think ahead, that you can, especially if you're the initiator, you're the one offering to cook for me, and then you're like, buy the ingredients. No, you buy the ingredients.
He
I
did
don't know what you
initiate.
cooking. I don't know what you making.
But babe, you just said you're looking for somebody to initiate. He initiated. He initiated by saying, "I'll cook for
Then
you."
take your tail to Whole Foods and get the ingredients yourself.
Okay, well, baby, but why should that matter?
Because
Why is it us versus them? Why can't it be, okay, let's just do this together? Or why can't it be, you know what? Well, I just can't.
was this the first date, or what was this? How far were we in on this?
We were a couple months in.
Okay.
So he probably assumed that, you know what? Let me just,
What do you
just tell
say?
him to go get something.
What do you say about assuming,
It makes an ass out of you and me. He
baby?
pro-
Can you not say the dang on word?
What you asked me what I said. But anyway, just beep it. It's a child's show. I mean, it's a family show. This episode has been brought to you by but
Pray for him.
I don't care about don't pray for me because I don't know who y'all be praying to. I'm okay. I cuss. So my wife don't, I do. Let's move on. I cuss a whole lot more than what you know. But why does it have to be us versus them? But so Riley you said it was a couple months.
It was a couple months, but I do have a caveat.
Okay.
He doesn't have a car.
See,
He doesn't have a car.
It's time to go.
Hello. But no.
It's time to go.
Sister Soldier, sit down. But okay.
And he's in LA. You ain't got no car.
Hold on, but
why you ain't got no car in LA?
Babe, you don't know what stage of life. And again, that's
Well,
why
he
I
ain't in the
say,
stage that he need to get married. How you gonna give me a ring? You ain't got no car. Wherever our kids gonna ride the bus?
yes, what's wrong with riding the bus? That's what I'm talking about. But baby, listen, baby, we built together.
We did.
So why? I think that should be more of the message that these women and these men, like this, that's the message that I'm pushing towards the single brothers I know. Like, get with somebody with whom you're willing to build with.
But some people are still building, and it's been 50, 60 years. And hold on, and he still ain't changed. He still ain't got no car.
But baby, you don't marry somebody with the expectation they're gonna be who you want them to be.
That's
you
right.
marry with the expectation that you are doing the soul work to be who you're supposed to be. And I
Right.
feel like that's why a lot of relationships fail, because they are self-centered, they are incredibly selfish and just very egocentric.
Before I do, you get an opportunity to check out a person's patterns. If they don't have a car, they don't have a job, they're not thinking in that way, then to me, that's a problem, because that means I've accepted it now. So then when we get married, I can't get mad if you still ain't got no job, you don't have a car, because I've accepted That's who you are. You might not ever change. And that's why you can't marry somebody with an expectation that they're all of a sudden going to change when you get married. Now, don't get me wrong. People can all of a sudden grow and glow up. And I get it. I hear you. But there's so many people that have been married for 20 and 30 years and they're frustrated because that person is the same person that they were when they were dating. So before I do, get a chance to step back and say, okay, like I know somebody that she, paid a lot of her man's bills before I do. He had a lot of excuses, and guess what? That continued their whole marriage. And it weighs down because what happens is I feel like in marriage, like it takes two people to come together to support each other, right? So I need to feel supported. You need to feel supported, and we're a team and we're working together towards our goals. But if it's one-sided where one person's doing all the work, that's exhausting, right? You need a hug, baby? You okay?
No, I don't need a hug. It's just this is troubling. Now I see where a lot of people are single. I think that kind of mentality is just, you can't talk about relationship and oneness when it is still selfish, egocentric, and it's like, well, this is what she has to do for him, and this is what she's looking for in him. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm sorry her expectations were broken, but she shouldn't have placed expectations in thinking that this man, or the other way around, was supposed to become someone that she wanted him to be. Like,
that's why she's smart. And before I do, saying, you know what? This is not the package I want to sign up for. I want to sign up for somebody who's driven, who wants to provide for their family.
You're probably not going to find a lot of that in the very beginning.
Yes, you will.
Well, okay, then why you got so many single friends?
I don't have that many. I don't have that many single friends. There's a small handful.
Okay.
And the thing is this.
So why you got to marry friends who are getting divorced? Because they found somebody who was driven and ambitious?
Not all of them.
Oh. I tell you what, y'all women.
All I'm saying is it takes two
else.
people, babe. And I feel
there's
like
nothing wrong with it taking two people. I get it takes two people. But when it becomes us versus them in the two people, and it's no longer about collaboration, it's no longer about, giving your spouse, like, for me, babe, it's always been, I want you to be able to grow at your own pace. I want you to be able to do what you love. It's not about, well, let me just continue to check the boxes on if you meet these expectations and if you do this. And for me, my marriage is good with you because I don't have this expectation for you to do everything. Like before I got married, I had expectations. Like, the bed needs to be made
before you got married, right?
But that's
okay.
But if I would have kept those expectations then, I would have missed out on what I have now.
Yeah.
And I had to lay those expectations down and realize that you weren't going to be perfect. And thank you that you challenged me. Mm-hmm. You challenged my expectations the same way I challenged yours.
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. Where other married couples get frustrated and quit, we just chose to grow from it.
Yeah,
and it made us better.
Of course.
That's what people need to be hearing who are before I do. Yes, you're going to be challenged by it, but prayerfully, the challenge that you're making is that you won't be as selfish and you won't be as egocentric. That's what happened with us. And that's what happened with every great man.
I don't feel like it's selfish to say you want that person to show and prove sometime in their life that they have an apartment, that they have a car, that they have basic needs. Like, I'm sorry, like, one time this guy was like trying to talk to me. He lived with his mom. He didn't have a car.
He's probably living with your mama. He's probably saving money so he could buy a house. You want a man who lives in an apartment, like who has to pay bills, or like this man lives with his mama rent free. He's probably saving money. What's wrong with living with your mama?
There should be something in you that says I want to be a provider. Like I want to take care of my family. Like I can't.
There may be something in him, but
listen,
why does he need a house right now if he's single?
He was making it all about me. Like, I'm moving with you. We'll do all. No, sir. I'm going to need you to stand on your own 2 feet because I'm not about to be carrying us. No, I don't want that struggle bus. I just don't. I need you to prove to me that you can establish your life. And not only, it's not just about money, but also like spiritually, like the head of our household. For me, I can't respect a man that has none of his stuff together. I'm sorry. I'm not going to respect that man. So if I was in those shoes and I was single, I would probably still be single, and I would be okay with that because I would rather be single than dating somebody and being their mama.
Well, that's why a lot of these women out here want to be in a relationship because they thinking the same way.
They're smart.
Okay. And y'all gonna be single for the rest of your life. So enjoy.
No, that's not. Don't declare that over them,
enjoy
baby.
singlehood. Listen, I hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, you can't be selfish. You can't be egocentric. You can't have all these different expectations that you have for somebody needs to prove something to you. Because at the end of the day, who in the heck are you that somebody needs to prove something to? Now, listen, if you got all these different standards that you want to live by, please, by all means, do exactly that. But the issue is that you will, as the Bible that I live by says, you will be judged by the very law that you judge on others. So if you assume that you have all these different laws that somebody else has to follow, I guarantee you're not going to find anybody who's going to check that list, because relationship is all about reconciliation. It's all about change. It's all about restoration. It's all about growth. It's all about all those things. But we're going to take a quick break.
Y'all, we have been so crazy busy. It feels like we are going from one kid's activity to the next. And do you know what has been our saving grace? Factor meals. Y'all, we've been ordering them for years. I mean, years. Even before this ad, we've been using them because we love them, because we're too busy to cook sometimes. We're coming and going, and literally we're getting these fresh, never frozen meals ready in 2 minutes. So all we have to do is just heat it up and enjoy it. I've been ordering the meat options for my husband. The keto options have been super healthy, and Logan loves them. His favorite is chili and the steak. But it's been pretty much a game changer for my family. So if you're looking for something that's quick, that's easy to grab, that's not frozen, that's fresh, it's delicious, there's so many different meal options for you. They even have breakfast items that we've ordered.
I know. I mean, I've really loved the egg bites in the morning. I mean, they're absolutely amazing. I mean, and what I really love about Factor is that you get an opportunity to choose. So if you're keto, if you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, like, you know, they automatically put it there for you. They break down the carbs, the protein, everything you need. And I mean, you need a grab and go meal for lunch, for that dinner, because you got people coming in town, like you're cooking a lot and you really don't feel like making that lunch meal. Factor is the way to go. Head to factormeals.com/thisislife50 and use code thisislife50 to get 50% off. That's code thisislife50 at factormeals.com/thisislife50 to get 50% off. Factor Meals, y'all. factormeals.com/thisislife50. This is life 50. Y'all, you're getting 50% off. I mean, you can't beat it. You need to try it today. Factormeals.com/thisislife50.
Okay, we're back. And again, I can't think of anybody.
Because you can't find me in any of them. I'm type A.
But there was some like Dwight was type A. Nelly was type A.
Okay.
I don't think you watched it to Nelly.
No, I didn't watch. No. And I'm definitely not Dwight. He's weird.
Yeah, that's why I say you're not Dwight.
I'm not anybody from The Office because I don't have that personality. I don't have a dry sense of humor like all of them do.
Hold up. You're about to disrespect a whole tribe. Remember, us Office fans, we are a cult, okay?
You guys are a cult.
Hey, the Office fans, we are a cult. So you get ready to disrespect
he makes me watch
millions
this.
of people.
This is our bedtime routine, okay? Sit in the bed. Our kid finally goes to sleep. He sleeps in our bed, and I love it. So, Roman, so perfect. I can't wait to see him. Sorry, I got distracted. So we sit in the bed, Roman goes to sleep, and we talk. We just talk about our day. We talk about life. We laugh about stuff on Twitter. Twitter's like our fave.
Yeah.
We just talk and stuff. And then after that, I'm like, all right, babe, I'm about to go to sleep. You might give me a massage or something to help me go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And then
I turn on The Office.
He turns on The Office every single night, like clockwork.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, all right, babe, I'm going to bed. And I don't know what that means. The Office is turning on. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is I put on worship music on my phone, because what he's going to do is he's going to set the timer
to the TV.
To the TV.
Yep.
And then when it goes off, so I'll just be listening to worship music all night.
And then, but while the timer is going off, I'm having to compete between The Office and Let It Rain. So I'm like, oh my God. Could she please?
Sometimes he turns it off.
I don't turn it off. I turn it down.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I just turn it down so that no one can hear it. So it's not off. don't turn it. I would not be that insensitive to
Thank
turn it
you.
off. I just
Thank
feel like
you,
God would
baby.
be like, dude, you turn this off to play The Office. I just turn it down because sometimes when you
You would
play
get to
it,
heaven.
it'd be really loud. Like, I'm like, yo, can she not hear? Because like, is she trying to let the whole house hear it? Like, I don't know if you realize it, but sometimes it be,
Really?
oh my gosh.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And then when there's like a really powerful singer, like when
Yeah.
like Stephanie Gretzinger or
Yes,
somebody comes on, it's like,
you.
Yashu. And it goes up for that thing. I'm just like, golly.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It's great. It's great, but not when Stanley is talking in the office.
gosh.
I need to be able to hear everything that Stanley
Oh.
and Meredith has to say.
All right.
Even though I've heard it 1,000 times and I can repeat the entire
You guys,
episode
the same episode.
line by line.
But he won't watch the later episodes.
No, I won't watch anything after Michael Scott left.
'Cause
So I won't watch anything from the episode when Michael Scott proposes to Holly and then they decide they're moving to Colorado. I don't watch anything after that.
He struggles with it ending.
I do. You know what? I take that back. I watch one episode I will watch after that is when Dwight was acting manager and he had that gun and he shot the gun.
Can we watch those episodes?
He shot
Because
the gun.
all these repeats that you be having me
Shot it on
watch.
the carpet.
Babe, we need to refocus. This is not about The Office.
And he couldn't hear out of the scene. That was so funny.
I only laugh because you're laughing, not because it's funny.
Oh my God. I have to go home and watch that episode now. It's like,
Crap. We're going to
oh my
watch it
God.
tonight, you guys.
I'm so excited about
And I want to watch The Chosen. They had released 2 new episodes and I'm behind.
Well, I mean, praise the Lord.
Okay, let's go back to the point of this podcast today.
What was the point? I forgot.
New
Oh,
Year.
yeah, New Year.
Not so new you.
That's a great title.
You're
New
wel-
Year, not so new you.
You're welcome.
Because you ain't new.
You're not.
There's nothing new
You-
under the
you
sun. You're
have
doing
to
the same old
renew
thing that you've always done.
Your mind.
Oh, that's like a Dr. Seuss thing.
It is.
There's nothing new under the sun. You're doing the same thing you've always done. If you want to have something new,
You have to do.
what you have to do. We did that. We did that.
But no, for real though, I want you to think about like your goals and list them out, right? Like I'm big on goals. He's not into it, but like I went to Target and got
He's
like
not into it.
I got like a whole binder,
I'm
and you
not.
probably see me working on my binder. I don't know if you've been seeing me like write and work on my binder, but every day, I mean, I'm writing out my task, what I'm doing, what I need to work on, and my plan because I have a plan. But my question every day is, did I execute my plan for today? Because if I didn't execute it, then I need to go back and revisit it and see what I need to tweak and work on, and what discipline I need to start. Like for example, I'm like, okay, well, yesterday was a little crazy because you were teaching on riff, and we did not eat dinner at the table.
We didn't?
No,
Oh, yeah, we didn't eat dinner at
We
the
ate
table.
dinner apart. So because people were grabbing food at different times, we had to hurry up and get out of there so you could do your riff. But that tells me, okay, Heather, you need to adjust your plan for Tuesday nights because every Tuesday night he's going to be teaching. So now we eat at 5:00. So dinner needs to be ready so we can all sit down to the table and do that. So I think about stuff like that.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great.
Like tonight, I'm so excited about our dinner. The kids are super excited about it too.
What is it?
We're making loaded fries. So I'm making homemade fries, and then I'm making a ton of different toppings like ground beef, cheese, sour cream, all these different things, chicken, all this stuff. So we're going to kind of pile it on and we'll eat it that way. And then I'm going to do a salad and probably like green beans, just something else.
That's
than
cool.
just like fries. But, and then we're going to break out our bubbly.
I was like, what are you breaking out? But okay, yeah, I remember.
You know what bubbly is with me.
Yeah, no,
You know what
I mean,
bubbly is with me.
everybody knows that neither one of us drink now. I've been open about my AA meeting, so alcohol is no longer a part of our household. There's nothing that we have in our house. So when she's about bubbly, she's just talking about a cider. And here's
Apple
the thing.
cider.
Apple cider. And this is not a knock to anybody who does. You do what you do.
Yeah.
It's just in our house. It's not something that we partake in anymore. And plus, I feel like I've
You
Kinda
never,
look-
but you never
kinda
did
like look
drink like
younger.
that, babe.
say it again.
You never did drink though.
My problem was at night and stuff like that, feeling like I always needed to have something before I go to bed or when I got stressed out, you know, drinking or whatever it may be. So that was becoming a huge issue for me. So
Yeah.
I had to find a resolution. But for me, it's not. For me, it's a slippery slope because, with alcohol being a filler, there are other things that, could also be used as fillers. And I
Yeah.
feel like now when I have the discipline for alcohol, especially being in social settings where everybody else is drinking, being able to have that filler
Yeah.
or being able to be able to deny myself that filler, it allows for me to be able to deal with those emotional gaps, those emotional holes that I would ultimately try to fill with something else.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, babe. I love it. I love it. That's so good.
Yeah, but we have to be able to, have these important conversations so that we can figure out what this brand new thing that you want to
Yeah.
do.
And will you be
and
the
able to
same
walk through
you
it.
like a year from now? Like, I don't know about you, but I want to be better every single year. I like evaluate each year in my life. And I ask myself, am I better than I was this year, than last year? Was I kinder? Was I nicer?
Yeah.
Was I disciplined with my food and my body? As far as like cooking, like I like to look over it. Like, how is my business growing? You
Yeah.
know, I like to think about those different things. Did I rest? Was I obedient to God when he told me to rest? Because that's still a part of it too.
Yeah.
So just looking over my year, looking over those areas, tackling them. But I feel like, we're only 2 weeks in, and I feel like I am killing it with my goals, and I'm so excited. And it's still, a new year, but I'm just like, a year from now, I want to be a much better version of Heather.
Right. And also just the last thing is, the importance of pivoting.
It's real.
Because of, I don't know if you could tell, but it's a lot of things going on right now in our world. And it's just important that you find, you start looking around and you're finding different techniques, you're finding other avenues, you're creating multiple streams of income,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is, that you're learning the value of being able to pivot. So one of the things that's important, like I know you lead people, you teach people about the stock market, you're teaching
Yeah.
them day trading, you're teaching them stocks and options and all that kind
Look
of
at
stuff
you.
with Busy Trader.
Yeah.
But that becomes, and the reason why I mention that is because that's also a tool that you possibly could learn that could be able to assist you to be able to create a new avenue of income.
A new stream. One girl just made $7,200 yesterday by 8 p.m. or 8 a.m.
That's amazing.
Like she was there. I was like, "What did your husband say?" She said, "Girl, he hasn't even woke up yet."
That's amazing.
So it's like your husband, when he wakes up, he's gonna free, and he knows now. But it's just like the amount of money that people can make when they put themselves in a position to learn something new and challenge themselves. She took my course last January, 1 year ago from now. She's taken all 3 of my courses, and on a regular basis, she makes $2,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 whenever she trades.
That's amazing.
And she'll just trade 3 times a week, maybe. You know?
See, I mean, you got to think you're making $7,200 on one day.
On one
That's
day.
that's one day in January. So imagine she's doing that, 3
Consistent.
times a week. I mean, that's
She's
$12,000-$15,000 she's bringing in a week.
So that's thebusytraders.com if you want to watch my free course on it.
Yeah, and then something that I've just looked over my life and just all the different things that I've had an opportunity to do over the years. It's like being able to build courses, build programs, build master classes. I mean, I've self-published 16 books. Amazon drop shipping. I mean, what else?
Oh gosh,
I've hosted. I mean, we've hosted
Events.
retreats and conferences,
For
not just here in
years.
America,
all over
but
the world.
I mean, Havana, Cuba, Lagos, Nigeria, Cape Town, South Africa, London, England.
Dubai.
We've done
We've
Dubai.
been all over.
We've done all these things, and so I want to be able to help people to be able to find what their niche is, so that they can ultimately create multiple streams of income. Like right now, we're looking at real estate syndication, but being able to help people to walk through this process, and then ultimately, so that they can create multiple streams of income and they can have the time freedom that they want. So that this can truly be a new year for you. But this is everything we got for you today. We really appreciate y'all for being with us. And don't forget, like, subscribe, all that kind of great stuff. Share
We
this
love
with your
y'all.
family, your friends. We love y'all. Introducers, we're out.